I heard it was snowing there today. How bad does that suck? Is that why you're in a long sleeve?
No, it really was cold this morning. Seriously.
Don't miss that at all.
I can't believe it because
the pools are open and it's snowing.
Because I can't afford to pay my gas bill anymore. You know what I mean? Because
gas is like the cheapest bill out there. Your electric bill is like through the roof because the ACs.
Well, I don't have an AC on right now. It's like 50 degrees.
Exactly.
I'm watching Liverpool. They're up 2-0 Europa League.
Oh, good. Now you're going to be in a great mood the whole show.
Well, yeah, they're up 7-1 in the tie, so I think we should be okay.
7-1. What's that mean?
Well, they
have a 7-game lead.
No, they play a 2-leg tie. So Liverpool won the first leg 5-1. They're up 2-0 in the second leg. So the overall score is 7-1. 7.
Okay.
They're gonna make it to the next round. How about that? Did you watch the Liverpool game?
Yeah, you confuse the crap out of me. Like I know anything about soccer. Is this some tournament?
Yeah, it's called Europa League. It's for teams that don't make it to the Champions League. Ugh.
Oh, I just got a notification that your quarterback just got traded to the Seahawks.
Who's my quarterback?
Sam Howell.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the guy's tweet? JM, I was dying. It was a Kirk Cousins tweet. Yeah. And he literally used asterisks instead of saying Redskins. The unit reposted it, and I was like,
what team? When Kirk Cousins was the quarterback there, they were the Redskins, right? Like he got traded, correct. I think in like 17, maybe. Feels like about 17. So
and they got absolutely waxed by FedEx saying you have to change your name, otherwise we're going to pull our sponsorship. And then they pulled the sponsorship anyway.
Mohamed Salah just scored a goal. It's 8-1. We're
talking about football, not that football.
Yeah, but I don't care about the Redskins or the football team.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Although I do think it's funny when they show a graphic of like an old player, like they did this during a Raider game this season, because Antonio Pierce is the Raiders head coach, and they showed like played for New York Giants these years to these years and Commanders these years to these years. And I was like, no, he didn't. He played for the Redskins. They were not called the Commanders.
Did you not notice on Super Bowl what Brett's Aunt Karen was wearing? She was wearing her Redskins jersey. And I don't think you caught on, but I was cracking up.
If I had noticed that, I would have escorted her out of the building. That would have been very inappropriate.
What are you just supposed to do? Throw it all away?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, definitely. Conference tournament. So this is probably the best week to come to Las Vegas of the very well. If you like going to games, Kelly, don't shake your head at me.
You like going to games, yeah. West Coast Conference. Pac-12 is going to be gone, though, now. Big 12's not coming there. Brett Yormack just said, sorry, they're staying in Kansas City. Mountain West. What other tournaments there? That's it.
Yeah. Well, don't we have the Big West?
Oh, Big West. Yeah.
We have the Big West. I like the West Coast Conference. Tomorrow night, I'm going.
Do you want to go to the West Coast Conference? I got a press pass you can have.
The tournament ended 2 days ago. Thanks for the notice. It ended on Tuesday night, kid. Thank you for that offer. It's terrific. Going tomorrow night.
If you think I handicapped the West Coast Conference for even 1 second, you were dead wrong. But you're right. I did bet on St. Mary's with our good friend Sam Paniotovich. Every game What's that?
That's a good tournament. Gonzaga, St. Mary's. San Francisco had a pretty good team this year.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. I have been so ice cold that the only thing keeping me afloat right now is my friends' picks. I'm in a gambling group chat that helps. Everything I have posted since Saturday has lost. Every single play has lost.
How is that possible?
That's just I'm like 0-6 this week. That's how it's possible.
Are your trolls out in mass on X?
No, because I'm just like, this is what it is. What do you want me to do?
So they just feel bad, like she's such a loser. We're not even going to bother to make fun of her.
When I'm winning and then I have a loser, then they troll. But it's so bad. They're like being nice to me. No, there's like people dropping like ice cubes and snowflakes and stuff in the comments. I'm like, okay, I warned you that I'm ice cold. I've been saying it on every single show and on Twitter. Yeah, so even got me a thumbs up.
Yeah, St. Mary's beats Gonzaga Tuesday night. I'm watching Yes, I am watching Liverpool, obviously. I've also got an eye on the Mountain West tournament because tomorrow night going to the semifinals with Sam Paniotovich.
Nice.
Timmy Murray and some other guys. We're going to be over there. I love this time of year. I think this week is so much fun. And then it all runs into the selection show Sunday. first for Tuesday. I got asked by the Westgate marketing people yesterday, one of the girls. She's like, hey, is Kelly coming back out for March Madness?
Oh, boy.
Because they wanted you to do another episode of 2 beers. Yeah.
Oh, that was fun. That was 2 margaritas and 2 beers. So I was feeling extra spicy that day.
Well, I'm going to do it with tape.
I enjoyed it. The new lounge at the Westgate, highly recommend their margaritas. Bartender over there that used to work with me at the Flamingo adult pool was serving them up the whole week I was there for me and Ariel.
Liverpool just scored. It's 9-1. Do you want to go? Do you want to go tournament by tournament? I was really happy for you this morning. When I first walked through the door this morning, I looked at the screen and Connecticut was down 10-0.
Yes, they were.
I was worried that you were going to get mad at me or get mad at our listeners.
They don't care probably about the Big East Conference tournament. Yeah. They probably want to go home and take a break.
I looked this up. You know, they were. It's easy to forget this now because they were so dominant in the NCAAs. They were actually the 4 seed in the Big East tournament last year.
Wow.
Yeah, Marquette was the 1 seed.
That's
Connecticut lost in the semifinals. Marquette won the Big East tournament. So Connecticut didn't even make it to the final last year. They're through. They're in the semifinals. I think they play St. John's tomorrow.
Did St. John's end up winning? I didn't look at the final score there. I was trying to keep an eye on a couple other games. I mentioned some of my friends gave me some winners because, of course, I gave out BYU. We were talking about it last night. I bet it, so I posted on Twitter this morning. Had a nice little CLV trophy, and it lost, along with Miami and the other CLV trophies I had this week.
I liked Oregon State yesterday against UCLA.
Okay.
I lost.
Yeah, they got boat raced.
So last Pac-12 tournament in Las Vegas, we were hoping for the Big 12 tournament to come here.
I was hearing rumors, but Kansas City must have shelled out a few bucks.
Maybe we get the Big 10 to come here, potentially. Don't have a lot.
Really interesting. Just because obviously the 2 teams in Southern California, but I guess Washington and Oregon as well, but for the most of the Big 10, that would be a very interesting travel scenario, but I think the fans would probably thoroughly enjoy it.
It's tough for us to really break down game by game with this daily format. Like, we're recording the show here Thursday, early in the afternoon on the West Coast. By the time
we're going to film Tuesday, right? We're going to do an early show next week.
Yeah, let's talk about that because I know people want picks. I know they want sharp action. I get all that.
They want winners. Well, they want winners. And that is not what you gave us in UFC. I got a text. Tell JM thanks for another UFC loser. He never gets the winners.
We'd won 3 consecutive plays until that one.
Yeah, I know.
Can't win them all.
Nope. Unacceptable. You have to win them all.
Yeah, of course. Sorry about that. We're on a 3-game winning streak. All dogs. Oh, boy.
I mean, I do love the dogs.
Yeah, it's tough. So we can't really give anything sharp on the conference tournaments. What can we really say? We don't know what the matchups are going to be Friday yet or Saturday. And there's no point in giving out conference tournament odds to win bets because all the tournaments have started. So I don't really know what I guess I'm throwing myself at your.
Have you seen? Okay, how about this? Have you seen any sharp action? And I feel like it's a little too late for that. But have you seen any sharp action for March Madness, like the actual big tournament of 68 teams?
You know what?
Field.
I truly believe that we're at a point right now in the futures market where it's too late to make a future bet. That you're going to be much better off, and we're gonna show this next week on the show. We're going to be much better off just taking your money and just rolling it 6 games. I don't think
but have you seen any teams that you think that might be worth doing
in the last couple of weeks? I mean, I mentioned on the show last week we started to see some sharp money come in on Duke. Players betting on Duke to make it to the Final Four was one last week. But we just don't know until Sunday when we see these brackets.
That's a very good point. I think that every year there is in my opinion, a more dominant quadrant of the bracket where it just looks like a gauntlet. And then there's always one that is significantly easier, if you will. Last year, Might not have been UConn's bracket, but they sure made it look like it was the easiest quadrant.
So it
K-State's
was.
bracket.
No, it wasn't. That was a tough bracket. If you remember, they had Kansas as their 1 seed. Arkansas beat Kansas for them, but their 2-3 game was UCLA Gonzaga, and Kansas was the 1 seed. So really that was a really hard bracket. It was, but then like 2 years ago, if you remember this, Kansas got like the easiest draw ever, and then Villanova's leading scorer got hurt, missed the Final Four game, and then they played an 8-seeded North Carolina in the title game. So they had like one of probably the easiest path I can ever remember seeing.
That's right.
And then last year, Kansas had an extremely tough bracket where they had like a dangerous.
I don't know what to make of Kansas. I mean, I tweeted yesterday, is half the team dead? Yeah, they were. Hunter Dickinson and Kevin McCullough attribute for over 30 points a game. They have no bench. And I kind of have said that all year, but they really have no bench. Do they take this next week, take a relaxing couple of days, heal their wounds, and come to play in the tournament? Or I don't know. I'm kind of like,
what does Kansas learn from this season? Do they say, because
don't pay guys like Hunter Dickinson millions of dollars?
That's what I was going to say. I mean, let's just be honest. They bought Hunter Dickinson, right?
Yes.
He went into the NIL. Kansas bought him. That's what happened. So the question is, do you instead next year, Kansas obviously a very well-heeled sports department. Kansas basketball, that might be the best fan base in all of college basketball. They've got all kinds of money behind them.
Oh, they do have money, but they're a bunch of dickheads.
Will they go out and buy one superstar player again, or are they going to try to spread that around and build out a full roster? Because that is what happened. They have no depth this year. And
well, they didn't.
So is that a lesson? This is the new world of college basketball, where everyone's basically
college sports in general.
Everyone's a free agent. So do they go out and get the biggest fish like they did with Dickinson, or do they go out and build a whole team? They got the money.
They do have the money. And I asked myself this about K-State as well, right? So we have freshman Day Ames that I'm like, please stay. Are we going to have the money to be able to give to him? Mm-hmm. David Gasson is going to be sought after. I mean, he was banged up for a better part of this year. Arthur Kaluma, David Castillo signed with us. Hopefully he doesn't get bought off our roster. Those things are going to start happening. I mean, I made a joke about Nick Saban and what he was saying at the congressional hearing. And it's like, oh, somebody was like, did you tweet that from your $17 million lake house or your $32 million beach house, or right? Like whatever the joke was.
A little bit unfair. Nick Saban coached in college sports for like 40 years. I mean,
all I'm saying is that I'm all for these players getting paid, right? Like I had this debate with my dad. I am all for these guys getting paid because when I was in school and you were in school, who were some of the poorest guys on campus? The athletes. Like living in student housing, maybe had a car if their parents had a little bit of money or they didn't.
Well, then you know what we need to do. Contracts. Then it's got to be like a 3 or 4 year contract.
Well, that's the thing is, if you're going to take the money from the school, you can't just go get money from another school,
right?
Because this school developed you. I mean, I think we talked about on the show, there was a K-State football player that another member of the media texted me. He was bought and paid for off our roster. He wasn't even in the transfer portal, which is supposed to be against the rules, but he jumped in the transfer portal and immediately went to a new school because they have bigger pockets than Kansas State does. And so I think you're absolutely right. There's a happy medium to be had somewhere between these guys making money, but also it's got to be, why do you just get to jump ship at the end of the year? Or Naquan Tomlin, where I feel like he got really screwed over, was just able to go jump on Memphis's team. But if it's like, well, if the NCAA rules are X, Y, and Z, but the school is claiming that there's other issues, why should he be able to go just immediately start on another team?
I don't know. I think it's ridiculous. I mean, maybe they are free agents every year, but they have to sit out a year, which would be one barrier to team players doing this so much. I don't really know what the answer is. But the way it's set up right now, I mean, I'm not really a fan of it.
Well, I just think it's
unless Georgetown goes out and spends a bunch of money and buys a bunch of really good players,
and then you're not going to complain about it. But here's where my issue, I guess, really is the NCAA allowed this to happen, and I think they wanted it to be the Wild Wild West since nobody could really agree. Like, I think we can all agree that the NCAA is probably not the best organization at times, right? So when Virginia and Tennessee just beat them in that lawsuit, a lot of people were pretty happy and said, hey, this is another victory for college sports, but we still don't have any protocols. And I'm not a big rule and regulation person. I think we all know that.
No,
but like
not.
there have to be protocols in place to not only protect the athletes, but to protect the schools. And I find it just a very muddy situation, and there's no real answers because the NCAA doesn't want there to be answers. I think they're thoroughly enjoying the chaos.
We're not going to be able to give any sharp plays out. Like while Kelly was talking, I looked through. I mean, we got some sharp plays in the games tonight, but by the time the show comes out, the game's
the audio is going to be out really quickly. So please at least give us some sharp plays for tonight.
There's only one. There's a lot of sharp
that
guys
I can tweet.
A lot of sharp guys on Duke tonight. Duke is playing
Duke,
North Carolina State. Why is the ACC tournament in Washington? Why that just
I missed that.
I don't like that.
Okay, that's weird.
UFC 299. So we bet on Song Yadong. He dominated the first round, and Piotr Jan just.
How would you know? You were sleeping.
No, that was the first fight of the main card. I didn't see them. I fell asleep during the main event.
Oh, okay.
No, I watched that. I watched the fight we bet on. So
yeah, and we lost by decision. It sucked.
Dominated the first round, and Jan was late to every exchange. He looked old, and then Piotr Jan just dug deep. Clearly won the second round. I thought the third round was really close, but Jan got a takedown in the last minute. I give him a lot of credit, man. I thought for sure we were going to win that one. Then I left the house, and then I came back during the main event, and then I fell asleep. This goes back to what we always talk about. The West Coast, East Coast is too late. Oh, on the West Coast, I couldn't even stay awake through the fights.
That's because you're old and you were probably drinking.
No, I wasn't. I had to be on the ball on Sunday morning.
You get the tired eyes real quick when you start drinking. Like I get the no one's home eyes. Like
yeah, you do that.
But I get that where people are like, "Hello, are you alive back there?" But like your eyes get like super squinty and really very droopy.
It's kind of racist.
That your eyes get droopy?
Yes. This week there is a UFC event, so I wrote down they steamed Macy Chiasson from -185 to -265. I'm not going to bet that. I'm not going to lay 265. But
no, but like pretty much what people do is they just put her. It's a chick, right?
Well, I don't assume gender.
Okay, so that's why I was double checking to make sure that I wasn't. They would just put her in a parlay with some other chalk.
I don't recommend doing that either. But we mentioned on the show last week that they used to be called the Indians. I think this year they're called the Guardians. Some sharp money on the over. So here's a team to make the playoffs in baseball, the Padres. So we've been bet down from +210 to +130. Now keep in mind with San Diego, they went 1-13 in extra innings games last season. They won in extra innings.
That's
pretty
gross.
The last game of the year went to extra innings and they won, and the game was meaningless. They were 0-13 in extra innings prior to that. They had the worst record in baseball in one-run games last season. And then they've lost, obviously Juan Soto's with the Yankees now. Josh Hader's gone. Blake Snell is gone. They made a trade yesterday with the White Sox to bring in Dylan Cease. I think that's how you pronounce that guy's name. I don't follow the American League.
Yeah, don't ask me.
And they also have Musgrove and Darvish. So there's a lot of talent there. Tatis Jr. is there. Xander Bogaerts is there. Manny Machado's there. That one's come down quite a bit. Problem with that bet is the Dodgers are going to win the division.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now.
I don't know what's going on behind me. The Dodgers are going to win the National League West. So you're basically betting that they'll get one of those wild card spots, of which there's now 3.
Yeah, because the Padres are 11-1, 12-1 to win the division.
Well,
the Rockies are 100-1. What a joke.
Dodgers are going to win the division, but San Diego has been bet down considerably. Maybe look at them as a team to make it to the playoffs. Anything else you want to go on, or you want to go to the mailbag?
We can go to the mailbag, but first, just because a lot of people have always asked me, how come I never do this stuff? I wanted to do a March Madness Survivor pool. I don't even know if I can say March Madness.
No, so I'm sure you can't. I'm
pretty sure it's copyrighted. So I'm sure I have to call it like right now, college basketball Survivor field of 68, except it's only 64 teams because I did not want to use the play-in games because that's how I lost 3 out of 5 of my entries last year was the play-in games. I think I had
we do a March Madness challenge here where you pick.
You do?
Let me tell you about it. You pick the first 28. You pick the 28 first round that aren't dependent on the playing game. That gives people 2 extra days to sign up. So you throw out those 4 games that are all waiting for the other team, and you pick the other. What's going on? You pick the other 28.
Okay.
But what's
the buy-in?
$100.
Okay.
What's the format of your pool?
You have to pick 1 game every day. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you advance, then you have to do a double pick for the Elite 8. $25. I just said unlimited entries. I just didn't care because I'm like, if somebody, I asked Twitter, like, should we do 100? Should we do a nickel? And a bunch of people were like, yeah, do $100. But I'm like, well, then just do 4 entries.
Is that against the spread?
No, just have to pick the winner. Oh. But you can only use a team once. So it's like the NFL.
Oh, you know what? Before we go to the mailbag, what are we going to do, all kidding aside, with this Connecticut thing? Are we going to bet $500 on Connecticut money line in the first game?
No, not when they're the 1 seed.
So we'll just wait for the second round game.
Yeah.
And we'll just hold the money. But we were going to show the people.
Well, go ahead if you want to. What are they going to be? As a 1 seed? Like, what's historically, I'm curious what the lowest money line in on a 1 seed is. I imagine
it would be like, we'd be betting $500 to win like $10 or $15.
Yeah, I was going to say like $12.
Yeah, probably something.
Okay. Like go for it.
But are you saying, should we just
No, you should do it. You should do it because you're right. That $12, every time it gets rolled over, we need that $12.
The $12 would roll over 5 more times.
Yes.
It would be worth something. Now, when you make the first bet, it's incredibly.
I am dying that your emotions are on your iPhone somehow, and it is every single thing you're doing.
I don't even know how to turn that on and off.
Thumbs up. If you give a thumbs up, yes, I think that's See, there you go.
How did I turn that on?
I
have no idea.
Do you remember when mine was doing that? When I got this new computer and I thought the producers were fucking with me and I was like, you guys stop. You have to turn them off. I know that, but I don't know how yours got turned on.
How did I turn it on?
Who knows? The iPhone does all sorts of weird fucked up shit. There's like a new thing that I had to turn off underneath privacy. I probably should send it to you too. Because it's like just tracking you wherever you go now. You have to physically turn off some of this stuff.
Man, you know that for my birthday, I had a really good birthday this year. And
yeah, you bought yourself a dog.
No, it was a gift. I didn't pay anything.
Oh, your mom bought you a dog.
No, I had some friends.
Who got you Mario?
Some friends of mine got me Mario. So, yeah, I didn't buy. I did really well in the gift department, but Mario obviously was the highlight. But here's the thing: I was talking on the phone with somebody about like grass or patches of grass for the dogs to pee in. I don't remember exactly what I was saying, but then I'm on Instagram.
Like where you put it on the porch so they don't have to like.
Instagram the next day, and my like targeted ad is one of these grass things for your dog, and I never Googled it. I've never ever talked about it before that. I hate.
Haven't you seen where like the girls on TikTok are like engagement ring, like in their boyfriend's phones and stuff, so that becomes like his targeted ad?
No, I didn't know that. I thought they banned TikTok. I thought that they.
No, they're not going to ban TikTok.
Well, I didn't like that.
That's half of their voting base is TikTok. You want to piss off all the Gen Zers? Get rid of their way of making money.
Well, I don't like stuff like that, but I do. Mario, tremendous addition to the family. Very cute little guy.
Yeah, he's very cute, but Ellie does not like him.
Ellie's not sure what to think of it yet. Ellie.
She's like, thanks for the annoying brother, Dad, that I never wanted. He's like, the video JM sent to us, he'll have to tweet out. He was barking, and he would run back away from her, and she'd growl at him, and then he'd lunge right at her and try to bite her ear. I'm like, she is like gonna eat you, little dog.
My buddy brought his dog over last night. We took him in the backyard, and Mario is just biting his dog's tail, trying to engage this dog who, in the video, he looks huge, but he only weighs like 40 pounds. Just Mario is so tiny, it looks like he's huge, right? And Mario's following him around, biting his tail. Luckily, Duke was very patient with Mario.
That's funny you say that. I remember when I first got Coco, I had a friend with a Great Dane, and I have a picture of Coco next to the Great Dane. And she's like this big, and obviously the Great Dane's like, 150 pounds, massive. And that's what she was doing. I'm like, he can eat you. What are you doing? And they're just like little feisty, and they don't give a shit.
No, they don't care. But yeah, Ellie doesn't know what to make of it. She's kind of like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
And then I got to separate the two of them at feeding time. This morning was
you do have to do that at first.
This morning was a little crazy. It was a little crazy.
Yeah, you can't, because you don't want they'll be eventually, like, we've had Reese for almost 4 months now. Her and Wrigley eat next to each other now, but for the first 3.5 months, we fed her in the kitchen and fed him in the laundry room, just so that there was no, territorial issues.
Fair enough. You ready for you want to do this mailbag thing, kid?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the merch first? Or
I need the talking points. I know that we're developing a merchandise store. I don't know.
We are?
Oh yeah, but I need. Did John ever send over all the notes on that? John Hoagland?
No.
Well then, thanks for
Listen, he's doing everybody's job today. He's doing the show solo because Louis like screwing off at the SEC tournament. Like, just thinks he can just go to a basketball tournament on a workday.
Here's what that's bullshit. Although I'm going to the Mountain West tournament tomorrow, which is a Friday. That's at night though, 6:30 at night. That's okay.
Are you still going to check your emails?
No.
Oh.
Check my emails. Oh.
Pretend like you're working. That's why I said this morning, like, Pickett had posted, like, are you working today? Are you watching college basketball? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm sitting on my couch. I got my laptop open with Slack. If anybody needs me, I posted a couple of Instagram stories. Like, I'm working.
All the important people have my phone number. If they really need me, they can always call me. I don't care. But no, I'm not going to be checking my email. Not while I'm at the basketball game with Timmy and.
Good. You should be enjoying yourself. No, the reason why I asked is because we have some really loyal guys and gals. Actually, Christy, I just saw her on the mailbag list. That I was thinking, if we had some merch, we should give to them.
Well, yeah,
because they're loyal listeners.
So we are developing merchandise, things like the typical things, hoodies, whatnot, that we will be giving to customers. They're available for purchase, and we're going to give them away. And we should probably give them away to our listeners, I think.
Yeah, John Hoagland's supposed to send me a new backpack since I apparently donated mine to somebody in the sports book on accident.
How did you lose the backpack within like a day of receiving it?
Because I had 2 margaritas with you, and then we went and did 2 beers. So I had like 4 drinks in an hour, and That's just left sitting in a booth.
Those are nice backpacks.
No shit. That's why I want one back.
When I travel like on a 1 or 2 day trip, I use my SuperBook backpack every time. It's a great backpack. It's got all kinds of pockets, and
I'm an idiot. The end.
Well, that's how it happened. Long established. Next question.
All right. At NC Hunter 8 on X says, what percentage of winning tickets never get turned in? Ooh, this probably has drastically changed in recent years with online betting and, tickets automatically being cashed on the app. But that is interesting. I've always told people, speaking of the Flamingo Adult Go Pool, I'll never forget when a Brett's Buddies was here for spring break and he lost a ticket. And I go, did you happen to take a picture of it? And he goes, and send it to somebody and be like, hey, look, I bet this ticket. And he goes, yes. And that was the only thing that basically saved his ass, was the fact that he had a picture of said lost ticket and nobody else had tried to cash it.
I'm gonna do a Kelly. I'm gonna do a long answer to this question. Really long. This is gonna be like fucking long. So just settle in. I don't know what the percentage is, but I can tell you it's enough that we actually build that into our budget, the P&Ls. Like, there is an understood thing at all the sports books that you're going to make some amount of money from people never cashing their tickets. Some people, no, it's not like millions of dollars, but there is a
But
number.
amongst all of you, it's probably millions of dollars.
So now that number has gone down over the years because of phone accounts. So let's use this as an opportunity to remind people to get a phone account. You're never going to lose your ticket on your phone account. And I'll tell you a story about it. Years ago, got a customer, he made a pretty significant bet. It was for thousands of dollars. So I knew it was his ticket. I knew the guy. He was in our VIP room. He immediately loses the ticket. Somebody else finds it. Game ends, the bet wins. The other guy brings it up to the counter to cash it. And we said to the customer, sir, this isn't your ticket. It's got the player's card number of the other people on it. I'm going to have to get it back from you. He insists that it's his ticket.
Of course he does.
We bring security down. We tell him that we reviewed the footage. We know it wasn't him. Of course, he knows it's not him the whole time. Finally, he's like, what rights do I have? I was like, well, we could get gaming involved. We bring the gaming agent down. I don't know if he thought I wasn't really going to call.
He got gaming involved?
I think maybe he thought I was full of shit. I wasn't going to actually call gaming, but I did. It's the only thing I could do in that scenario. He sees the gaming guy walking towards him, and he sprints for the door. Left the ticket on the counter. The rightful guy got his ticket back, cashed the ticket.
Wow.
I pulled the customer to the side after this whole ordeal, because this took up my whole afternoon. And I pulled the guy to the side, and I was like, you're not betting at the counter anymore.
Sprints out the door. I
said to the customer, you're only allowed to bet on the phones. I'm not doing
no
this.
more. You can't bet over the over the counter anymore.
This guy would lose tickets all the time.
Oh,
and he was betting thousands of dollars. Get a phone account, people. A lot easier.
It's funny because I remember when Brett and I first started dating, he would just have stacks of tickets, just stacks, because they're betting all over town. And I asked him, I said, hey, have you went through all of these just to make sure you just didn't forget to cash one that was a winner? And he goes, yeah, I should probably do that. And walks in with 500 tickets to double scan. And there was 2 winners in there.
Oh, when I was a teller, I can remember guys that bet like that. And they would come to your window and they knew what bets won and lost. They would actually give you ones. I remember I said to the guy, I was a ticket writer. I said to the guy, he handed me 5 or 6 tickets. And I said, well, you've actually written an L on all these tickets. You know that it lost. I wasn't trying to be rude. I was just confused. And he's like, yeah, I know. But sometimes they misgrade the games. So can you just run them through for me?
Whoa.
Yeah, I did not do that for him. But
wow.
I know that there's people doing that around the city. Yeah.
Christy G 3131 on X says, first round hottie threesome. Yes, I will do that. That's a great idea. Let me text John Hoagland right now and let him know we're going to have one of those. That's a great idea. I'm going to put that. I'm going to make one happen.
Can I work with Andrew Babakitis to boost it?
Probably not.
Oh, Kelly,
it just doesn't win whenever you boost it.
You're such a negative Nancy now, man.
What do you want from me? If it gets boosted.
And Sparta just scored, so now it's 9-2. Great.
Good. At TS Finky on X says, any advice on how to discuss betting with your partner if she doesn't agree with you betting? Ooh, you know what my answer?
Betting?
You know what my answer?
Well, that's a tough question.
Goodbye. I don't know.
I'd be careful with that because if you win, then they're going to want you to spend money on them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is a thing.
I would try to just not ever talk about it as much as possible.
But then you're being dishonest, and then you're going to get caught lying, and then it steamrolls. That's what I'm saying. It's okay. So there's just certain things that I believe are not.
This is Kelly's long answer.
Whether it's politics, whether it's children, whether it's money, there are just things that you have to be on the same page with, and gambling falls under money. If they're not okay with you gambling, then I don't know.
Actually, you know what? For once, I agree with you. I don't understand how people can stand to be with somebody that disagrees with them politically. Everything now is so charged. Everybody's so emotional. How could you possibly be with somebody that's on the other side politically?
You can have things that you, based on how you grew up and things you disagree with, but if you are literally opposites on big topics, that's got to be pretty hard. And money is one of those big topics, and money is tied in with gambling. Like, let's say this. Let's say that the woman you're with likes to spend money on clothes or shoes or makeup or spa treatments or any of the other things that women like to spend money on. And you're like, hey, I disagree with that.
When you say women like to spend money on, you could just say anything. So just
yes, anything. Brett and I
yeah.
had this conversation yesterday, and he literally, I said, are we married? Am I asking you for money? What, because I'm getting my ass kicked right now. And he's like, maybe you should just stop. And I'm like, no, because you know what's going to happen? I've just decreased my bet size according to my bankroll.
Yeah. Brett's
and
too
guess
smart.
what?
Brett is too smart to loan money to a gambler. He would never do that.
Need to borrow money, but he's like, maybe you should just like not be betting then. And I'm like, no, I've just been more selective and I'm still fucking ice cold. Like,
don't you think sometimes
it's
a good idea to step away and just take a break? I mean, what?
I took Sunday and Monday off.
Oh, okay. Well, there wasn't a lot going on Monday.
Like, I wanted to bet K-State last night. I really did. But
that was a nice win for K-State. Is Texas going to keep that coach for another year? They are just wasting their time.
Yeah, they have such a talented roster too. It just sucks.
Not only that, but they also built that new arena.
Oh yeah,
they are.
That's nice.
They need to go out there and get a serious coach.
So, T.S. Finke, back to that really quick. I just want answers. I think you draw a line in the sand and say, okay, here's what I'm going to spend every month doing this, and if you're not okay with it, you know, like, just I think.
But what if the this is going to be sexist. Okay. What if the female in this relationship is frivolously spending money on nonsense all the time?
That's what I just said.
So, like, I mean, like, yeah, obviously.
And let's just say that he doesn't spend money. Like, I frivolously spend money on, I like to go on vacation. I just got a facial yesterday.
No. That's not a frivolous spending of money. Because vacations are creating all kinds of memories that you're always going to have.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't consider that wasting money. I'm talking about just nonsense purchases all the time.
Like Amazon?
Just whatever. Yeah, like any just miscellaneous purchase of something you really didn't need. To me, that is just frivolous spending. Creating memories with your friends or loved ones on vacation, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I probably just do it all. Let's just be real. Like, I probably spend everything. Why would I work so hard if I can't get the things that I want?
I don't know.
Okay. So, next question. At Danny K731 on X says, which teams that will be a top 5 seed in the tourney do you think are most vulnerable to upsets? Conversely, any mid-majors you think can go on a Cinderella run with the right draw? Ooh, hold please. Let me pull some stuff up.
Well, I think we feel the same way about Kansas. I mean, what Kansas has shown us this season is at the Fog, they're very good. They ran Houston out of the Fog. They have very good top-end talent when they're healthy, but when they've left the friendly confines of Lawrence, I mean, they've been lousy. So they're a team that could. I mean, I think they lost 9 Big 12 games this season,
which is basically unheard of.
That's for a program of Kansas' stature. That is unheard of. I could see North Carolina. I could see North Carolina getting upset early. I don't think the ACC is very good this year.
I could see North Carolina being upset early. I could see, Purdue possibly. I'm not
Ice though. After they lost, come on.
I'm not saying they're going to lose to a 16 seed, but if there was a yes/no bet out there that said no to make the Sweet 16. I think Auburn's a really interesting one there, sneaky wise. I gotta tell you a Bruce Pearl story. Oh yes.
No, not on the show. I'll tell it to you.
It's too not fun. On the show. Got it. You're not going to tell our audience Bruce Pearl story. Okay.
No.
Let me come up with Danny, because I don't read these before. I always just read them live. No. Let me come up with the list for Tuesday after we get the bracket out. That's what JM and I will do. We'll give some Cinderellas and some top seeds to get upset. Seahawks, where your quarterback went, 26-11 on XS.
You're saying Sam Howell is my favorite quarterback?
Any changes to the Super Contest this year? Any chance you guys can make the Gold Contest pay top 3? Ooh, I like that.
No, see, I don't like that idea. Why does everybody like that idea? I thought
because you know how shitty it would be to take second place in the gold.
I know the guy that finished second the first year. He's a friend of mine.
And he was probably like,
yeah, he was a little annoyed.
Yeah. So I like that idea. Top 3.
So
I think you guys should do that.
That's not one of our changes we've talked about, but we have kicked around a lot of ideas. We've talked about a college contest.
I just want a good college contest.
You know that what I want to do? I want to do a Survivor contest, reverse it, and you have to pick a loser every week. Because I just think that'd be harder. I mean, you look at what Kelly and I did in the Survivor contest that we were in. We got to Thanksgiving, which is pretty far. And I think we picked against the Cardinals like 4 times. We picked against the Giants multiple times.
Yeah. Bet against the Jets a couple times.
I just think it'd be, we should have lost one of those. I think it'd be harder to pick a loser every week because then you could only use who's the worst team in the NFL now?
Honestly, I don't know. Who's going to be the worst team this year?
Who's the worst team in the NFL?
Probably your Washington football team.
No, they're going to be good.
Are they?
Well, they had the most cap space in the league. So
yeah, you're right. They did.
No, they're not going to be good, but they're not going to be the worst team in the NFL. Whoever the worst team
probably the Broncos.
The Vikings look like they're
going
to rebuild. But my point is, you could only go against that team once. I think
right.
But I think more likely
that would be interesting.
Jay isn't as keen on that idea as I am.
You know, I love the idea. Actually, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that if I'm still in this little space. I think that's what we should do. Is a season long. You and I will do it for the show because I can just use the app that I just did for March Madness and say I want to pick. You have to pick the loser.
That'd be cool. Jay likes the college idea though. So
I love the college idea.
To answer the question, we're talking about a number of changes. We haven't totally decided everything, but there will be some new stuff coming out this year.
When do you think registration would be opening? July again?
I'd say very likely July 1, but that's not official.
Okay. All right. Last question. Wise Guy Wager on X. College football and NFL not available. Well, this is dumb. What would be your next sport to wager on? We already know what John Murray's going to say. Mine would be college basketball.
What am I going to say?
Whatever garbage you have on your television right now.
No, I don't bet on this.
You don't bet on?
No, I watch Liverpool for the love.
You watch it for fun?
I love it.
Ew, I watch nothing for fun. There's nothing.
I love this. I
watch Resident Alien for fun. Have you seen that stupid show? It's the dumbest show on the planet. And I'm addicted to it. I've been binging it.
I watch I like to bet. I like college basketball is a good answer. I like to bet on the UFC. You know that. No, I don't. I'm not betting on this stuff. I just love Liverpool football. This is for the love of the game. This is no betting.
Okay.
All right. So Tuesday.
Yes.
Tuesday. I know today's show was tough with the way the schedule's set up. It's tough to do a weekly show during the conference tournaments. So thanks for bearing with us. But Tuesday, what we'll be able to do is give sharp action on round 1, sharp action on props, sharp action on futures for the college basketball tournament. And then I think what we'll probably want to do is, I just look at my schedule for the 26th. That's not going to work. Maybe the 27th, ahead of the regional finals. We'll do a show.
Why are you the way that you are? I'm going to be in Mexico that week. So that means we're going to be on fire. Whenever I am not in America, I do very well in college basketball. I don't know if you guys knew that. I went on a hell of a run in Costa Rica one year. I went on a hell of a run last year in St. Croix. When I'm in Mexico, I'm going to be seeing the board so clearly.
It's a very scientific formula.
It's just what happens. I go on vacation. I pick college basketball winners. You know what it probably is? It's probably because I'm like, fuck, I want to go to the beach. I need to hurry up. And you think long, you think wrong.
Yeah, no, that's probably true. You got to trust your instincts, kid.
And now that's all I've been doing. I've been overthinking, trying to be super selective. And all I've done is cost myself fucking winners.
Let's all take it easy. Let's take a deep breath. The March Madness hasn't even started yet. It doesn't even start.
It's already March 14th. It's already started. The madness is here. It's maddening.
Well, I'm enjoying it. Tomorrow night, we'll say hi to Chris Palmieri and the boys at Naked City Office Bar, where we will eat and just an inappropriate amount of buffalo wings, and then walk across the street to Thomas and Mack for the Mountain West tournament.
You're going to have a great time. Super happy for you.
I'll see you Tuesday.